Hey everyone, it's Sean and I'm live here at Bruce. I'm in the classroom as always because that's where I always shoot these videos. It looks like I have a snake with me, but this isn't a snake. This is Riddle, and Riddle is our resident sheltopusik. You may be wondering what the heck is a sheltopusik? Well, I'm going to tell you. Sheltopusiks are often known as legless lizards. So they kind of resemble a skink. You know, if you've been to the reptile department, you've seen a blue-tongued skink. They have a very, very similar head and very similar body, except no legs. So legless lizards have just developed, probably related to skinks at some point, to just not really have the use for legs anymore. These guys spend the majority of their time living underground, also under rocks, rotted logs, and things like that. They spend all that time under there and they search for really interesting things like earthworms and snails, pretty much any invertebrate they can find, and then they'll also raid rodent nests and sometimes birds' nests. Now, as you just saw, one of his defense mechanisms was he did what's called the crocodile roll or a death roll. That's one of his ways of getting loose, which he's doing again. Perfect example. But their main defense mechanism is where they get one of their secondary names is the glass lizard. So, for as long as Riddle is, his body actually stops right here. So that means from here all the way down to the tip is his tail. Now, he'll get the name glass lizard because if he feels extremely defensive or like something's going to come after him, he can actually drop this tail off and go ahead and slither away. That's called autotomy. So what happens with him, though, is the tail actually breaks off into dozens or more pieces that look like chunks of broken glass. They still retain their nerve endings so they can wiggle around and they look like little worms. This is really distracting to a predator, like say it was a bird or a fox or something that came after him. So all these little pieces are wiggling around, the animal goes after those pieces, and then Riddle is free to go ahead and slither away and go back to his home. Over the course of the next year to 2 years, he's going to grow this tail completely back, and he can do that whole process over and over and over again. So this particular species is also called a sheltopusik, and that has to do where they're found in Central Asia, also known as Southern Russia. So sheltopusik, I think, is a lot more fun name to say than glass lizard, because here in the U.S., we also have a version of these guys that's found down south called an eastern glass lizard. And they're much, much smaller, like literally only 4 to 6 inches long, whereas, you know, Riddle here is at least 2.5 feet. So I know I'm a little late to the game because school has started for most of you guys, but I figured for story time, we're going to read Miss Mingo and the First Day of School by Jamie Harper. And since I like to use Riddle for so many school groups, because in case you didn't know, Bruce goes out to schools and does presentations, and we also have a classroom, obviously, because that's where I'm at, where we do all kinds of educational stuff. So if you're interested, that's all you have to do is contact the store, and you will probably get me out at your school with a whole bunch of animals telling you all kinds of cool facts. So we'll go ahead and get started on Miss Mingo and the First Day of School by Jamie Harper with Riddle the Sheltopusik. So the first day of school was Miss Mingo's favorite. She couldn't wait to meet her new students. Of course, everyone was a bit nervous, but Miss Mingo knew just what to do. Let's take turns sharing something special about ourselves, she began. It can be anything. Miss Mingo smiled at her students. No one smiled back. Well, then why don't I begin? You're okay, buddy. I'll bet you didn't know that the food I eat keeps me in the pink, said Miss Mingo, sipping a shrimp shake. And I always eat upside down. Everyone stared. Wow, whispered Narwhal. Who knew, muttered Giraffe. She's marvelous, said Hippo with a sigh. Alligator jumped up to go next. I'm always losing my teeth, she declared. See my collection? Thank goodness I grow new ones all the time. Doesn't she know about the tooth fairy, asked Koala. Shh, she should be rich, said Snake. Well, I only have 2 teeth, said Narwhal, but one of them is a sword. En garde, said Cockroach. Suddenly, everyone wanted a turn. Are you laughing at me, Becca?
Yes.
This is the fun part about story time.
Yeah.
Especially since I don't read them ahead of time. It's a surprise to me what I'm reading. Look what I made, Spider said proudly. Simply stunning, said Miss Mingo. Yikes, that was fast, said Frog. Well, I may be tiny, but I'm super strong, Ant announced, balancing a fresh pink eraser from down below. Listen to this, bird sang. I know more than 1,000 songs by heart. Miss Mingo was tickled pink, because she's a flamingo. Koala plucked a eucalyptus leaf. This is my favorite food, he said. It's all I ever eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yuck, said Alligator. Smells like a cough drop. When I was a baby, Panda shouted, I was no bigger than a hot dog. See? Centipede was busy buckling her boots when Miss Mingo asked her to go next. My name means 100 feet, but obviously I have way more than that, she said, rolling her eyes. Check out that shoe collection, Frog said, counting. By snack time, the class was really warming up. I taste with my suckers, Octopus said with a slurp. Everything's yummy. I hear with my legs, said Cricket, frowning at Octopus. Could you please eat more quietly? I smell with my tongue, said Snake. Ooh, that cheesy popcorn stinks. Impressive, Miss Mingo said, laughing. Now that's using your senses. Miss Mingo, elephant's asleep, Alligator tattled. Oh, how cute, said Miss Mingo. And he's sucking his trunk, Frog whispered. Actually, he can breathe, smell, eat, drink, wash, wrestle, and trumpet with it too. My turn, Hippo hollered from across the room. He had something special for Miss Mingo. Now she was tickled bright pink. These big lips just aren't for grazing, he said with a giggle. Everyone else giggled too. Monkey swung down from the ceiling light. Talk about big, he boasted. See this nose? It'll never stop growing. Well, it'll never get as long as my tongue, said Giraffe. Now, let's watch our manners, Miss Mingo reminded class, but it was too late. I can eat anything, yelled Cockroach, chewing on a book. Even your own skin, Frog challenged. Mine's delicious and nutritious. Ugh, groaned Alligator. I can't watch. Who hasn't had a turn, asked Miss Mingo, glancing over at Pig. Remember, tell us something special. Pig thought hard for a minute. I know, she exclaimed. My skin is very sensitive to the sun. Mercy me, Miss Mingo said, cringing. Doesn't she know about sunblock, asked Alligator. Miss Mingo's class was full of surprises, but nothing prepared them for what came next. My pouch can hold lots of water, Pelican said, stepping back from the sink. Gallons, croaked Frog. Who knew? Who cares, yelled Cockroach. Last one in is a rotten egg. The pool party made quite a splash, but soon it was time to dry off and go home. Miss Mingo was thrilled. She had learned so many extraordinary things about her students. What a fabulous year we'll have, she thought, as she mopped up. What a fabulous class. So that was a really fun book, and it also has tons of animal facts listed all through it. Now, I didn't list the animal facts as I was reading through because I wanted the continuity of the story, but I'm going to read you some of the random facts they have in there because that's what Storytime's about. So, a flamingo's bill is hinged at the top, allowing this bird to scoop up food in the water with its head upside down. Carotenoids, a substance in shrimp, make a flamingo's feathers pink. Without them, the feathers would actually turn white. An alligator can grow and lose up to 3,000 teeth in its lifetime. The spiral tusk of a whale narwhal, the spiral twisted tusk of a male narwhal is really its overgrown left tooth, and it can be up to 10 feet long. An orb-web spider can weave its circular web in just 30 to 45 minutes. The wingless worker ant can lift 50 times its own weight. The male brown thrasher has the largest repertoire of all North American birds with over 1,100 song types. Eucalyptus leaves are a koala's only source of food and water. Koala is an Aboriginal word meaning does not drink. A newborn panda cub is pink and blind and 900 times smaller than its mother. Centipedes can have as many as 354 legs. I'm really glad that's an even number. A cricket's ears are flat and oval shaped. They are located on its front legs. An octopus has almost 2,000 suckers. With them, it can taste the difference between sweet, salty, and bitter foods. Snakes flick their tongues in and out to pick up scents from the air and ground. It's okay, Nate. A tired elephant calf often sucks the tip of its trunk for comfort, just as a human baby sucks its thumb. With lips that are about 2 feet wide, a hippopotamus can eat up to 100 pounds of marsh grass and other plants in a day. The male proboscis monkey's nose continues growing throughout its lifetime and may get to be 4 inches long. A giraffe's flexible dark purple tongue can extend up to 18 inches, perfect for stripping leaves off of trees. Cockroaches eat almost anything, including plants, animal carcasses, paper, glue, soap, even nail clippings. Some frogs eat their own skin as they molt, using their front legs to pull it off over their heads. Pigs are susceptible to sunburn. They roll in the mud to give themselves a protective coating. Pelicans use their pouches as nets to capture fish. The pouch can stretch to hold up to 3.5 gallons of water. And that is all the animal facts from this video. So, I hope you learned some awesome facts about our legless lizard friend, also known as an eastern glass lizard, also known as a sheltopusik. And then I hope you enjoyed Miss Mingo and the first day of school and all the awesome animal facts that it had to offer. So, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys next time.